Quite often when we're drawing in AutoCAD, we want to reference objects in relation to the coordinate system of 0, 0. Now when we're drawing theatre plans, it is common to have the middle of our setting line as that reference point. And here you can see that I've got a very sort of basic drawing of a studio theatre space, and we have some auditorium seating, and in front of that we have our front edge of stage, which I'm going to use as our setting line. So what we need to do is we need to move this drawing so that the middle of this setting line is at 0, 0. Now to explain this a little bit more, I'm just going to come over to my status bar icon and switch on the coordinate system so that you can now see down here what our X, Y and Z values are currently at. When I move my cursor, it now shows those values in relation to my cursor. And you can see that as I move my cursor across the model space, those values change. Now you can see that this little icon here, which is called a UCS, shows me the X and Y plane, and actually this by default shows me where 0, 0 is. And you can see that as I move my cursor away from that icon, the values go up for X and Y, and as I get closer, they go down until I get very close, and I will find 0, 0. And as I go past, you can now see that I'm in negative values for X and Y. And as I go closer again, we get closer to 0, 0. So I'm going to select all of my drawing that I want to move like this, and I'm just going to zoom in slightly, and I'm going to go right click, move, and I want to move this drawing using the midpoint, and you can see that I get this green triangle as my midpoint, and that, if you remember, is because I've got my midpoint snap on over here, and I'm just going to select that as my base point, and now you can see that I'm moving it. Now instead of having to try and guess where 0, 0 is and place it manually, I can just type in the absolute values. Now in order to do absolute values, you need to press the hash key first to tell AutoCAD that this isn't a relative move. We're not moving this just by 1,000 or by 0. We want to move it to absolute values of X, Y, Z, 0, 0, 0. So we have to press the hash, then we press 0 for X, comma. Okay, and you can see already it's showing me where that's going to move to. Press 0 again for my Y, press comma, and now it's gone into position. And then the Z, of course I want that to be 0 because this is just a 2D drawing. Press enter, and you can now see that it's moved over to being exactly on the X and Y 0, 0 of my setting line. And that is a really useful command to know when you want to move objects to a definite point within the model space.